not bored.
Oh, no, you're not.
I love Jesus.
You do. I love Jesus too. And I love the church.
And if Caitlin or Mona ask, I'm never bored.
Oh, me neither.
But let's be real.
If our wives ask, we love going to church. Question that everybody's thinking and nobody is talking about. Why are men bored in church? Just like Zach is bored in the first 20 seconds of this video.
My bad.
Why are men bored in church?
I'm not bored.
Oh, no, you're not.
I love Jesus.
You do. I love Jesus too. And I love the church.
And if Caitlin or Mona ask, I'm never bored.
Oh, me neither.
But let's be real.
If our wives ask, we love going to church.
But like, if we're really, really honest, any given Sunday, half of the guys, any given Sunday during football season, half of the guys are on ESPN.
Oh no, that's
Checking
real.
the updates.
I visited a church here in the city where they had flat screens in the bathroom and they were pumping ESPN in the bathroom.
Now, that's creative.
I thought it was super creative.
People where they're at.
But it speaks.
Was there room in the bathroom?
It's like if you can't beat them, join them. Like you're bored, you're checking Sports Center anyway. We might as well live stream it through the restrooms.
Just move service to Pluckers.
No, but okay, seriously, we get down to it. Look, I mean, as a guy, like there's certain things we know that are pre-wired in us: adventure, risk. Like we want to win the respect of the beauty, right? We want to charge to the front lines. You know, we want to be challenged. There's so many different things that we desire, but then what we experience in church is kind of polar opposite. Yeah. Right? It's like
I know from the get-go, like for me personally, I'm wired like facts, logic, and reason. I love to read, study, and put things in their order. I love to get my hands dirty. And so immediately when I walk into a church service and we enter into worship and Caitlin's like crying, she loves it, but I don't always connect in the same way. I know that's not true for all men, and that's kind of a stereotype, but for me, that's barrier number one.
Right. In which case we would say, well, we got the sermon coming up, which should appeal to the intellectual side. Yeah. And does sometimes, depending on the preaching style, I suppose.
Totally.
But there's still a large disconnect. Yeah. Right. And so what do you do about that? Because nobody's talking about it. But when you say it to a guy, if you're not on church staff, and hey, what do you think about the church, man? You know, you're like, yeah, no, I think it's good. I love this and I love that. No, you're bored. You're bored, right? And so here's the thing. I think in order to change that, some things have to shift. And for me as a man, like I've got a professional career. I've got a home life. I got areas where I am working nonstop. And if the church can come alongside and show me how pursuing Christ is an absolute value add to those areas, it's helpful, but it's still not enough. I need deep brotherhood. I need, adventure. You
get your annual men's retreat, Joe.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Bunk up.
Yeah. And seriously, I thought of, let's just go find a church that has a softball league. But dude, I need room to be a guy and not just come to a community and rally around things that are just Bible studies or service projects or whatever. Yeah. So here's one thing. What do you do about that? Number one, I think as an organization, a church, right, you have to ask yourself, do we have a way, a process in place that helps us understand the unique wiring of each man that's in our church, like their gifts, their passions, their natural talents, because there's so much like untapped potential in every man in church, and we're doing such a bad job of bringing it to the surface that I think we need to figure out how do we tap into that.
Yeah, because whether you're a businessman or a construction worker, both of those represent different parts of the body, and both of those fit with the mission and the goal of the church. You can use those gifts and use your passions to further the kingdom. I think this thing's meant to be an adventure. I think a lot of times we just don't have that connection point.
Absolutely. And I love the topics on spiritual warfare and helping us see the the battle that exists that our eyes can't see. Love all that. Yeah, that does stir in me a little bit, but it's not enough, right? I need someone to come alongside me and show me how my natural gifts, talents, passions make a difference in the community.
Yeah.
Right? Instead, oftentimes my options are greet, usher, work with the children, those kind of things, which, hey, if I'm wired that way, awesome. And I know their needs of the church, but I need something to tap into. Maybe I'm an accountant. Maybe I'm a carpenter. Maybe, I'm a strategic planner. I need someone to come alongside me and show me, draw those things out of me and show me how I can use them in a way that's adventuresome, that's real, that impacts people's lives.
Totally. Yeah, because whether inside the church or in the city, all of those gifts are valuable.
Yeah, yeah. So the other thing, when it comes to the relationship side, how do we help men forge deeper relationships? Because we've all been in the studies where we're getting around and we're talking about the Bible and everybody's kind of slinging their theology and wisdom around, and there's some general encouragement, and that's all good because it's all around the topic of like spiritual nourishment and growth. But man, I want to get real about, my finances are hurting, my marriage isn't doing well, like I need outlets.
Yeah.
Like, so how do we help people forge deeper life on life relationships when we're kind of, siloed beings?
I mean, when I think about it, like those conversations happen best at the bar. It's like just me and you over a beer. So do we put in a bar?
I'd be all up for that idea.
Cheers.
I would go to a church that had a bar in it. Absolutely.
Or a bar that had a church in it.
Or yeah, no. So the takeaway is get to know the people in your church and open a bar. No.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay.
But for the rest of the church, they can't do that.
Okay.
The Presbyterians, the Methodists. And are they still Methodists?
I don't know.
Yeah. For them, what do? How do they facilitate these relationships so that men are having deep, meaningful relationships?
Yeah. We love all forms of the church. So
disclaimer.
We do, absolutely. No, so I think we got to find ways to help them use their professional talents in the community at the same time that we're deepening these relationships. And so that is, unless you're taking an inventory of who's at your church, how they're wired, what their passions are, and then you're asking yourself, what's the next step in the process of helping them step into the adventure of who they were uniquely made to be in Christ?
Yeah. Totally. So if I think of it like this, like the church has a vision, right? Which we'll say is the top of a puzzle box. And each man within the church has their own gifts and passions. They're like unique individual pieces. Yeah. I think sometimes the men don't see the big picture, the puzzle box, and so they don't know how to come together and complete that. Yeah. Other times I think the church is trying to put together the puzzle, but the pieces are still upside down. And so for me, I sort it all out, like flip all my pieces over, put all the edges over here, everything else in the middle. And then I think as we take those gifts and passions of those men and they serve together in their unique way, they're on mission together. That'll bring them closer together also.
Love it. Love it. We've got some specific ideas on the way we've done that with young adult community, even our volunteers, and we'd love to share those with you. So comment on this video, give us a call. We'd love to talk further.